One of the biggest problems we have here in Ukraine is the motivation of kids. How do you motivate your kids learning more and studying in general?
This topic is one of the most important things in education, because if a student is not motivated in their studies, they're not going to really fully understand the topic. And so another one of my passions is science and creativity. So what I do in the classroom is I show up to the classroom one day with a drill in my
drill?
hand. Yes.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. You're safe. You're safe.
Am I? It's so sharp.
I think you're not in the
Okay,
splash
safe
zone.
distance.
Yeah. And so what is your first question if I have this right now?
Are you going to put a shelf on the wall?
No. Today we're going to make music. Oh, yeah. So the students are automatically just very interested and very curious. And I see them start to get more and more interested in what is she doing next? So then I pull out a carrot.
A carrot?
Yeah.
So we're going to eat a carrot?
No. We are going to play with our food. We're going to play music with our food. I talk to the students. I say, today we're doing something special. Anyone?
Be careful.
Yeah, it's okay. We're going to make a mess.
That's okay.
I'm so sorry. But what happens is that the whole time I'm talking to them, telling them little facts. Did you know that when I press this button, there's vibrations in the air? And you're hearing the sound of the drill. Well, you can make this sound with a carrot by cutting it in a certain way and then placing this carrot cut in a way to make your air very fast. Because without this piece, it doesn't make sound. Shall we try it?
Oh, yes. I've never played the carrot.
And now my Ukrainian debut performance, I call this the carrot net. You really want me to play it?
Yes.
That feeling is exactly...
I am excited.
Yeah, exactly. You can't wait.
I don't believe you will succeed.
Yeah, exactly. And this curiosity, will it work? It does. And my students' faces, they light up. And maybe today the sound to line up at the door is this. Maybe I make one and someone takes it home. But this is actually really interesting because they think it's impossible at first. And I also use this to talk about overcoming obstacles, because as I was preparing this carrot, I went through several failures before it actually worked. And sometimes when I do this in my lesson, it's important for me to also say to the students, if I make a mistake, my philosophy is, it's cool. I say, it's okay, it's cool. And one of my proudest days was when two students were struggling and another one leaned over to encourage and said, it's cool. You made a mistake. It's cool. You'll get it next time. And that creates an environment where learning thrives. It really blossoms in that environment.
So don't be afraid to make mistakes.
Exactly.
And you can save money on buying some musical instruments.
Yeah,
buy carrots and you can play musical instruments.
Yeah, you can also do this with paper.
Okay.
So when I first started teaching, I was looking at videos and things that you can do. This one's a little bit more difficult, and this one has a higher failure rate. But let's see if we can make a sound. It's cool. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But then you explain to the children, why didn't this work? Well, maybe the angle of the windway, where the air goes in, maybe it's not lined up properly with the window. And
Which is physics.
Exactly.
Not music.
Yeah, and we have an instrument called the recorder, and it's identical to this. So when we start playing the recorder, they say, I remember the carrot and the paper. So it's making connections, science and music, and it's very good to motivate my students.
By the way, about connections and integration of subjects, I know that one of your hobbies and one of the things you love most of all, apart from music, of course, is science.
Yeah.
How do you integrate those two subjects? Because teachers usually complain and can't integrate language with literature. How do you integrate two absolutely different subjects?
Well, it's really fun for me because science is my hobby. In fact, I teach science, and my science personality, messy Mel, as you can see, very messy. But this is it's fun for me because I get to try new things and I get to look at the innovations in education, and I'm always looking for new ideas. I came across this thing. It looks like a science project. But
it does.
Yeah, but actually it reminds me of an old video game controller.
Okay.
Up, down, right, left.
I don't know what
Nintendo.
Video game controller is.
Oh,
sorry.
yeah. Well, this is connected to my computer, and what we'll try to do now is explore the word teach. We will have, what do you observe about this word? What is it made of? What do you see?
Teach?
Yeah, teach.
I see that it's just written with a pencil.
Yeah?
With a gray pencil. That's all I can see.
Did you know that this is actually something that can carry an electric current?
I don't believe you.
Yeah, because if you watch...
I was bad at physics at school.
If you connect this to this, it will actually take the circuit. But let's try some things. Do you hear anything?
No.
No.
How can I hear anything?
It's paper.
It's paper and pencil.
But the most interesting thing is when you take this wire, which actually connects the circuit. Also, I'm speaking like if I'm teaching a class now, but I will connect the circuit.
I'm your only student.
You are a model student. Let's see what happens.
No. No way.
Yeah.
How are you doing that?
So what's actually happening is that this is conducting the circuit, and we are actually just completing it. So we can play the piano. Yeah?
No.
What else? Do you think, my Global Teacher Prize.
Pin.
Do you think this will be successful? Do you think it's conductive?
I am not sure which metal it is made of. Are all the metals conductive?
These questions you're asking me are
Yes,
exactly
I'm
what my
asking.
students... No, this is exactly what happens in my class. And I say, I don't know, let's try. And do you think that they sit there like, I don't care?
No, of
they
course.
are very engaged. So let's try this. Let's see if it works. I don't know. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. Let's do it this way.
Do science teachers help you? Are you cooperative in some projects?
Well, there's lots of resources available, but my favorite teacher actually is YouTube.
Okay. Modern life, 21st century.
Yeah, and I discovered the Makey on YouTube because I saw a video of somebody walking up stairs, and it was a piano. And I said, how is it possible? And I was very inspired because you can use... every school has pencils. Every school hopefully has paper as well. And I wonder if the carrot will work.
Oh, I don't think it will.
Experiment. It looks like Frankenstein.
Yes.
Carrots grow with water, right?
Right. And water provides electricity.
Yeah.
See, I was not that bad in physics.
No problem, yeah.
Okay, thank you. What is this actually? It's staying just in front of me. I see this is what my granny had in her house.
Okay, so I'm loving this lesson because you're just like my students. You're asking me questions. And in fact, this is something that a lot of teachers I see, excellent teachers do this, is that it's a very student-centered environment. The traditional teacher in front of the class, I am the only voice, is now evolving into a conversation, discussion, debates. I saw it when I was observing the Global Teacher Prize Ukraine Top 10. These ideas are very important because our future is very different than it is now. So this actually is a record player.
No, this is a piece of paper.
Use your imagination. Doesn't it look like a gramophone?
It looks like a piece of paper.
How about now?
Scrolled piece of paper.
Yeah. Well, what this is going to do, you tell me. Can you hear this? This is a sewing needle.
Yeah.
Can you hear me do this?
Not exactly.
Okay.
Be careful, I'm always worried about you.
And how about now?
Yes, there is some sound.
Yeah. So what do you think about the way this is designed?
It's a kind of a tube, but not a tube. Not exactly the tube.
Yeah. Okay. So it made the sound louder or softer?
Are you asking me a question?
Yeah.
Louder.
Yeah. So the record actually has a lot of bumps. And if you will hold this, we will try to listen to some Jimi Hendrix.
I don't believe you. Jimi Hendrix.
Yeah. Here, hold
without
this.
any musical instrument.
With a record player. Okay. Right here.
I don't believe you.
And if it doesn't work, it's cool.
Yes.
Let's see.
all
What
make
song
mistakes.
shall we listen to? Okay. Here we go. Yeah, I wish you could see her face. She's like, yeah. And the great thing about it is, if I find the right speed, if I find the right,
So you can listen to the whole song.
yeah, and you can
like
make
this.
it like a really fast voice, and then we talk about what difference does the speed that I turn it have to do with it? Yeah.
That's good. I know you're working at school where very different kids are studying. They are of different nationalities, different skin color, different age. How do you teach them being tolerant with each other?
One of the most important lessons for me in my school was that school is not only for learning the subjects like math, English, music, but also it's to learn to be part of something bigger than yourself. When I went to college, I learned this when I joined the marching band, and I became a group with everyone, and it became more like a family to me than a class or a band. And the way I achieved this in my class is through leadership and team-building games. Again, YouTube has a lot of videos, a lot of experts talking about how to build a team. Yesterday, can you pass me these?
Yeah, I was thinking, what are those two things?
I'm going to juggle now. Actually, I can't. But with these two balls, I'm going to describe the exercise we did yesterday. I took the green ball, and I tried to teach this lesson without talking. So I just handed it to one of the participants, and we passed it along, and it took its time around the circle, and it was good. Everybody worked, but there was no connection. It was strangers, and then we took the red ball, and we went to this side. We went the opposite direction, and I did a few jokes, and so they started to loosen up a little bit, and I said, okay, the green team now is this way. Let's see how fast we can do it. And so they did it, and they're getting better and better, and if, someone dropped the ball. Sometimes my students discourage each other. You loser, you dropped the ball. But what we did was, it's okay, let's go, let's keep going, you can do this. Okay, green team much faster, red team much faster. And then I handed them both. And then they raced. I said, okay, green team won that time. And then red team, and I said, okay, now, ultimate challenge, right? They did it, the green team won. But actually, it was a circle, so I said, who's on the green team? And then they realized that every person was on the green team. And I think the culture of competition, and I think competition can be healthy, but cooperation is much better, because that's how we innovate. That's how we motivate. That's how we inspire. And working together, we can do a lot more.
Thank you. That was amazing. And I would like to finish our conversation with just one but main advice you would like to give to Ukrainian teachers. You've been here for 4 days now, and you know a little bit who Ukrainian teachers are. So what advice will you give them?
Yes. My advice to Ukrainian teachers is, you know, I get the impression that the traditional teacher, a very stern teacher, a teacher who maybe is not allowed to have a friendship maybe with their students. I get the impression that, because several questions were asked yesterday about this. So my advice to teachers is, it's okay to have fun with your class, because the education, it doesn't happen when your students don't have a connection with their teacher. Education is about building the relationships with your students so they trust you, so that if they have a problem at home or at school, they can come and talk to you, and you can give them advice, because teachers did that for me growing up, and it changed my life. And I will never forget Miss Bauer mentoring me in 5th grade, and that's the moment I decided I wanted to be a teacher, because she helped me. She taught me that maybe even if I have trouble spelling, even if I have trouble with numbers, it's okay, because I am actually very talented in music, and that's where I thrive. So when I...
And in science.
Yeah,
now.
and also in science too. Science, music, a musician and scientist.